99 isn't always a lot in the grand scheme of things. It's not a whole dollar. It's average if it's your IQ. It's awful if you're a pitcher and it's your ERA. But if you're a person and you were born in 1918, 99 is actually quite a bit. It means you've lived through the influenza pandemic of 18, were around for the Black Sox scandal, remembered Babe Ruth hitting .714, made it through the Armistice Day blizzard of 41, heard the sound barrier break, watched a guy go into space, orbit the Earth, walk on the moon, different guys, but still, endured the political murkiness of Watergate, cheered the Twins onto World Series victories, saw the World Trade Center collapse after a terrorist strike, and today has his face and history uploaded onto the internet. On the day of his birth, at home on the farm, there wasn't a telephone to call in a doctor and a radio to bring in the news from the outside. This was still 5 years off. Bob, a.k.a. the Captain, a.k.a. Winona Slim, I'd like you to know a little bit about him. Born the third of 7 children to Emil and Edith Schultz Hohensee, Bob spent his early years walking to a one-room schoolhouse, milking cows and harnessing draft horses to do the farm work. An astute and quick scholar, he was forced to drop out of school in 8th grade at Winona Junior-Senior High, when money was tight at home, and there was no extra cash for textbook rental or the required school-sanctioned paper and pencils. Take note, public school kids of today, who sign a contract to return their assigned MacBook undamaged when they graduate or move. He went on to do odd jobs and hired hand farming during the Depression. The good old days, he and his brother Melvin would reminisce in their snarkiest possible voices. Growing into the sport he loved and would play and follow most of his life, baseball. At one time, he was the youngest player on the Winona Roses, Winona's semi-pro team, and it was during a game with them that he received a call that would change his life, an opportunity to go to work on the Mississippi. He didn't retire until well in his 80s, becoming the oldest licensed pilot working on the Mississippi. A few years after, the river brought him to a sassy 16-year-old waiting on the lock wall in Dubuque, Iowa, for her uncle to hop off. Bob married that gal a year later. They spent nearly 60 years together before she went home to heaven. Together, they built their house in Minnesota City, raising 4 kids. Church was never missed, and if the Twins, Vikings, Gophers, North Stars were anywhere on TV, they were not missed either. He hunted and fished, built lots of furniture, fixed cars, built a couple of pontoon boats, grew big tomatoes, and even bigger apples, and in his later years learned to make mouth-watering popovers. 99 might not seem like much until you take stock of everything a person can accomplish given that much time.